going to talk about the vinyl cutter and CorelDRAW. So CorelDRAW is a program that is only on the computer right next to the vinyl cutter. This is the vinyl cutter. Basically, there's sticker paper that's vinyl. There's a razor in here that'll cut out whatever shapes we make over here in CorelDRAW. So right now, I'm going to just put in some text. This, just like all our other, all our other kind of programs like this, is a vector-based program. So it wants to follow lines on the paper. So if you download an image from the internet and just put it on there, it's probably going to be pixelated. So it's not going to be right. So I just wrote prep, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, Print Preview. It's really important to figure out, see how it's down here in the bottom corner? That's perfect, but I had to tell it to do that, bottom left corner. Anything you make in CorelDRAW is going to automatically be vector-based, so that's really good. So right now the sheet's been unloaded on here. So let's see, can you see this? There's a little handle right here. That lets me move the paper in and out. So if I get it, I try and line it up. There's some lines here I just line it up with. And then the other thing, there's these little white guys here, and these are rollers that just let you know, that help hold your paper, and then it helps measure how big it is. Once I've done that, it says sheet unloaded, I push enter. It's going to measure it. So it says, is it a roll or a sheet? And I say it's a roll, so I push enter. All this is right here. You can just read it, right? It's really small. So it just measured it. It's 10.8 inches from where I did it. So right now, if I go to print, it should print right here. But what I need to do is there's a button called Origin. I want to push and hold it until it says Origin Set. That means that this corner on the right here, where it says prep, should relate to this corner right here. So now if I push File, Print, it should just cut it out. There it is, it's cutting it. Looks like it's done. So there's buttons right here that I can move the sheet in and out. There we go, I can see it. So usually there's a pair of scissors over here. So if you go to design things, it really does help, though. If you draw a little square around it, will help to cut around your piece. But right now, normally I would do this somewhere else, like on a table. But if I go to peel it here, you can see how what I'm doing right now is called weeding, right? So I'm weeding out all the stuff we didn't want, right? So if I pull that out, then I can come in I can pull out these centers of the R and the P and the P. Right, so there's that. Right, can you see it? Yeah, there you go. But now if I wanted to take this and be able to stick it on something, what I need to do is use this transfer tape. So it's basically just like a big roll of masking tape. I'm just going to cut off a piece. It's about the size of my letters. I'm just going to lay it on top of my letters, rub it on really nice and good, right? And then what I can do is just peel it off, right? And this vinyl is nice and sticky. So the vinyl is nice and sticky now. So now that I have that, if I wanted to just put this right here, I just rub it on really nice and good. Oh, like I said, really nice and good. This transfer tape was pretty dirty, so it's not helping things. Come on. Sometimes you run into little issues. They make little tools that are perfect for this, or sometimes a razor, like an X-Acto knife, is really good to have just to touch where things were. So if you can see, let's put prep on there. The only other things really take into consideration is if I was to do another print right now or another cut, it's going to think the origin is way back here where we cut. So I would need to move this over to the edge, right? And then set the origin again by pushing and holding it. It's an easy thing to forget. The other thing too is if I went to the internet, let's say, and I got a, let's look up what? Creighton Prep logo. I just take this, right? And I think that I'm just going to be able to take this and save the image, right? And save it, and then open it up in here, right? I close this print preview file, open, and it should be in my downloads, right? Open. Oh, it says you can't just open it, you have to try using import. My bad. File, import. Like I said, this is a totally different program than I'm used to. So it's giving me the option, like, where do you want to put it? There it is, right? Oh, right there it is. It looks perfect. But if I try and cut this right now, it will not work. It'll try and like go across and right? So what I need to do is I need to trace this. So I select it. I go to object. Where is it? No, sorry. I go to bitmap and I do a quick trace. What that does is it made a vector and a it leaves the original and makes a vector of it. So now this should be a vector based cut. So if I go here, file, print preview, here it is right there. I'm going to go ahead and make this a lot smaller, right? So I don't need a giant one. And I already set our origin, so we should be good, right? So if I push print, we'll see if it works or if I failed. Looks like it's working. Looks like it's pretty big, actually. So that's how you can take an image, right? Convert it into a vector, and then be able to export it onto the vinyl cutter. Now, if the lines are too fine, it won't work really well. Oops. So I got a lot of lines there, but it's working. I'll go ahead and pause this, show you what it looks like, and then show you how it went. So hold on just a second. So let's see. Can you see that? Not really. There we go. So here's that CP, and part of it is the way that you choose to pull things out. Like I could have pulled out the square instead, right? And not out a square sticker, right? I would just have the C on the outside. So once you cut things, you can still mess around with how they look. Okay.